Taurus, hi, welcome to your reading. This is for the Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and any strong placement in your birth chart for the sign of Taurus. Crosswatchers, you are welcome here. If you are interested in a Taurus, please try to remember not to force situations or messages to fit if it does not resonate. That is okay. These are for the collective, so they are general readings, okay? Check your other placements and other Taurus readings on this channel. Take what resonates for you there. Leave what doesn't for someone else who may need those specific messages, okay? Energies can be interchangeable, meaning vice versa. So please use your discretion to put these energies where they best fit in your specific situations, okay? Please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a high vibrational comment. I love to hear from you. It helps my channel out greatly, and I appreciate all the love and support this far. All of that being said, Taurus, let's get right into this and see what's been going on. It's been a minute. All right, Spirit, this is for Taurus. Do I need to know and see about my Taurus people? Okay. Overall energy is the High Priestess in reverse. So you're not really listening to your intuition very much here. You're kind of bulking at it. There's secrets here. Hidden agenda. Something that you don't want somebody to know here. You're really keeping your movements to yourself. And you're being quite selfish and shallow right now for whatever it is, for whatever reason it is. And there's probably some ignorance in ignorant conversations that you have going on that is causing a lot of misunderstandings here. In the recent past, you have the Fool, the Eight of Pentacles, and the King of Swords here. So in the recent past, there was a new beginning that had started here, but you were naive about the movements that you were making, the things that you were trying to do here, and just kind of taking the pleasure out of your life here, being happy, being blinded by a lot of things that you should have been a little bit more aware of. That's that ignorance, that intuition, okay? You weren't listening. You did put the work in here. You did learn some lessons. You had some life lessons coming in, and you really started to master some of the things that you were learning, and whatever these lessons were teaching you, you were putting the work in to make it better. But it kept you too in your head here. You were leading your life in your head and not with your heart. So you got yourself kind of imprisoned there, and kind of made you be a little bit brutally honest, kind of in a very harsh way here. And you really didn't care because you had mental clarity on whatever it is that you were doing, because you weren't listening to your heart. You weren't trying to come with love and light. You were trying to come with heavy-handed opinions, okay? In the current, you have the Two of Wands, the Two of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles here. You're planning something here. You have progress in some sort of decision that you have made here in a path that you wanted to be doing, okay? Some of you have maybe even been thinking about leaving home or just to go travel, just to get away from some things here. Because things have been weighing very heavy on you here. And you're really trying to just put the balance back in. You're trying to find the balance here with this Two of Pentacles. There's too much going on and not enough time, kind of a thing. You want to enjoy the fruits of your labor. You want to enjoy the luxuries that you've worked hard for, that you have built up for yourself. You're really kind of just being independent right now, doing your own thing. Not really wanting to put yourself out there too much. You're comfortable where you're at, kind of thing. You're comfortable at home. You're comfortable being around you, kind of a thing. In the near future, you have the Queen of Cups, the Two of Cups, and the Three of Swords here. So there is a connection here that has that you have unconditional love here for. And there's been some healing here. You're still aware that there's love for this partnership that you have here, even though it has ended and it has caused you heartbreak. Some of you may be going through a divorce, okay? But there's a lot of emotional pain here, okay? Feelings of hurt, feelings of just suffering, that somebody is making you suffer and you're not understanding why you still have love for this situation, why you still even care, kind of a thing. But I don't know, let's see. But again, with you not using your intuition here, there is some harm here. All right. Let's clarify the High Priestess in reverse, please, in the overall. Temperance, the Star, and the Knight of Cups. Yeah, okay. So there again, you want the balance. You're hopeful for it. You're wishing for it. And you're wishing for that offer of love to come in again. It's almost like, Taurus, you have done something, okay? You have hidden something. You have not been honest about something. And that's what you're showing me. And this has kind of broke some things down here for you. But you're hoping that it can heal and that offer of love will still be offered to you here. Because then you start with the Fool here. So you wanted them to take a risk. Again, still. Clarify the Fool in the recent past, please. Yeah, Six of Cups, Page of Pentacles, and Judgment. Yeah, there was a soul connection here, and you wanted them to take a risk on you again. And so that it could be better than what it was. And you wanted that offer to still come in. But there's things that you needed to let go of. And I don't think that you were necessarily willing, or they were willing to let it go the way that it would. Some of you had karmic lessons from this. You learned them. You're showing that you learned them. But someone, all right. Eight of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, Page of Cups, and the Five of Wands in reverse. Yeah, so look. While you were worried about learning these lessons and taking the lessons and applying them to your life and in building yourself up to get the apology that you wanted, and you got the apology. And that kind of stopped the conflict there. Okay. So it's like you said what you did, you hid what you hid, whatever. You apologized because within learning those lessons, you evolved, and it stopped the conflict. It stopped the challenging kind of energy that was there. But it made you be cold and detached and kind of harsh to some people here. Clarify the King of Swords in the recent past, please. Yeah, the Knight of Wands, the Three of Swords, and the Three of Pentacles here. Yeah, this head over heart mentality and thought process puts you into a very unstable energy here. 1 minute you wanted this, the next minute you didn't, and it caused you to end up having to not just break their heart, but break your own heart. And you still wanted them to allow you to show them what you could do, what you could offer, what you could bring to the table here. You wanted to build a strong foundation, but you let your head get in the way. So then they decided, well, look, you are unstable in your energy. 1 minute you want this, the next minute you don't. We talked, we apologized, we learned some things, and we were going to change some things up. Okay? It didn't happen that way. All right, let's clarify the Two of Wands in the current. The Eight of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands. Yeah, okay, so you're still learning the life lessons, even on a different path. These karmic lessons are still coming in. And that's why I'm probably better off on my own right now. I should just stay comfortable where I'm at. And you have drive and passion to be like kind of on your own here. Like that King of Pentacles in the recent past, that represents the King and Queen of Pentacles is single. They're single kind of a thing. So you do have the desire and the determination to keep things moving and to have new things coming in, but you're still learning these lessons. So it's kind of feeling like, oh, again, we're doing it again. Okay, Two of Pentacles. But you are trying to find that balance so you can get in alignment. Yeah, Justice, balance again. 10 of Cups and the Queen of Wands. So again, you are really trying to stand in your power, bringing in balance, bringing in fairness. There is a happy ever after here, okay? And this is family, friends. That like 10 of Cups is love pouring in, love pouring out. So it's not like you're lacking of love here, but you're lacking of love and understanding with a specific person that you're showing that you wanted to have something with, but it was just too unstable. Now, whether it was unstable because of you or because of them, it doesn't matter. Put it where it goes. But there was unstable energy around the situation, and it just didn't pan out the way that it was supposed to, or the way you wanted it to. Clarify the Nine of Pentacles in the current. Eight of Cups, Five of Pentacles, and the Hermit. Yeah, you're walking away from something that is emotionally not serving you, whether this is connections with anybody. It doesn't matter. If you feel emotionally unfulfilled here, you are walking away from something before they can walk away from you, because that fear of abandonment with that Five of Pentacles is weighing quite heavy on you. Some of you could also be dealing with some money issues here. Really struggling. The struggle is real here. You need to self-reflect. You need to soul search. You need to take a pause. You need to keep yourself silent and still. There are some things and some inner healing that you need to do here. Some of you have not gotten to that point yet, that it's just like, oh, I can't deal with, I keep feeling like I'm balanced out, but there's still something that's off, and that's these lessons that are trying to come in that just kind of keep throwing you through a loop here. You have to sit with yourself, Taurus. You have to be able to sit with yourself and to see what is, okay? Okay. Queen of Cups in the near future, please. The Wheel of Fortune, the Eight of Swords, and the King of Swords again. Oh, there is change that is coming, okay? There's change that is coming, and it is going to allow you to deal with this self-restriction, this self-sabotaging, this not seeing the bigger picture here. You may have love for this situation and this person, but you're not seeing it for what it is. Okay? You have to be able to see what it is. And this change is going to hopefully get you out of that self-restriction, get you out of that self-sabotage, get you out of a connection that you were tied down to that you don't necessarily want to be tied down to. You tell yourself that you do, but this is why head over heart doesn't work. You're a fixed sign. You need to be listening to your heart and not your head, because your head is going to tell you, well, we can continue to keep fixing this, and you're going to keep sabotaging it over and over and over and over again. Okay. Two of Cups in the near future, please. Four of Wands, 10 of Wands, and the Six of Swords here. There is a higher commitment here in the near future, but Taurus, it's heavy. It feels burdensome now to you. It is not, even though you're trying to move it into unchaotic waters here to get away from the chaos and whatever this burden and responsibilities are. But you're still carrying those 10 wands with you. So no matter if you're trying to, one, rebuild this connection or whatever it is that you're trying to do here, you're too in your head about it. You're too tied to the situation. It's made it heavy, and it keeps bringing it into the here and now. These wands are things that you've brought from the past into the future here. So this walking away, all these things, these life lessons, it's all things that you're viewing as burdens. But you are trying to move yourself away from that feeling of just being held down, tied down, bogged down here. Three of Swords in the near future, please. Page of Wands, the Fool, and the 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, there's going to be, yes, there may be heartache here in the near future, but there is going to be messages coming in on this. They want to take a risk. They want a new beginning here. They want to start over because it has to do with a life, a long-term commitment here, the stability of it. There is definitely family involved in here. So some of you most certainly are married to this person. And things just kind of got way off track here. So it's time to kind of fix it and deal with what you need to deal with here. All right. Let's see what else the universe can add to kind of close this for you. What else for Taurus, please? Seven of Cups in reverse, Three of Pentacles in reverse, and the Moon in reverse. Well, you ain't afraid of it no more. Things have started to be, kind of illuminated here. Like there's been some lifting of the illusion here. So there's that release of fear here. And while you're releasing that fear, you're going to be releasing repressed emotions here. And that inner confusion, that Seven of Cups in reverse, that confusion is going away. The darkness is not as dark anymore, okay? But your insecurities are still showing here, Taurus, okay? there's going to be disharmony within this connection here, Taurus, until you really decide to have this change and really figure out if this is what you want, because some of you don't want this either way. All right. Let's close this out with the Oracle of the Shapeshifters for Taurus, please. Okay. Little Wolf Girl. Okay. It is all right to be alone. Taurus, I think that's what you're kind of striving for, is to be alone. You don't have to be with somebody if you feel like it's unstable energy, if you can't be authentic and honest with what it is that you want. It's okay to be alone. It really, really is. Because at the end of the day, if you can't be alone, you really don't know how to be with anybody, because what are you going to do when you're with somebody and then it does end, and then you need to learn to be by yourself before you be in a connection, because if it ends, you're still going to end up what? Alone. And that's okay. All right, Taurus, that is what I have for you. I hope this helps. Please like, share, and subscribe. And like always, friend, I will see you in the next.